Angelo, in our remove, be thou at fuller self. Mortality and mercy live in thy tongue and heart. Take thy commission. Our haste from hence is of so quick condition that it prefers itself and leaves unquestioned matters of needful value. So, fare you well.
The heavens give safety to your purposes.
We have most strict and biting laws, the needful bits and curbs to headstrong weeds, which for this 14 years we have let slip, even like an o'ergrown lion in a cave that goes not out to prey. Our decrees, dead to infliction, to themselves are dead, and liberty plucks justice by the nose. The baby beats the nurse, and quite athwart goes all decorum. Sith 'twas my fault to give the people scope, 'twould be my tyranny to strike and gall them for what I bid them do. For we bid this be done when evil deeds have their permissive pass and not the punishment. I have on Angelo imposed the office, who may in the ambush of my name strike home, and yet my nature never in the fight to do and slander. And to behold his sway, I will, as 'twere a brother of the order, visit both prince and people. Lord Angelo is precise, stands at a guard with envy, scarce confesses that his blood flows or that his appetite is more to bread than stone. Hence shall we see, when power changes purpose, what our seemers be.
Here's one arrested and carried to prison, and which is more, in these 3 days, his head to be chopped off for getting Madame Giulietta with child. Agreeing to proclamation.
Thus stands it with me. Upon a true contract, I got possession of Giulietta's bed. You know the lady. She is fast my wife, save that we do the denunciation lack of outward order. This we came not to, only for propagation of a dower remaining in the coffer of our friends, from whom we thought it meet to hide our love until time had made them for us. But it chances the stealth of our most mutual entertainment, with character too gross, is read on Juliet. This new governor awakes me all the enrolled penalties which have, like unscoured armor, hung by the walls so long that 19 zodiacs have gone round and none of them been worn. I prithee, Provost, do me this kind service. This day my sister should the cloister enter, and there receive her approbation. Acquaint her with the danger of my state. Implore her, in my voice, that she make friends to this strict deputy. Bid herself assay him.
I'll tell her.
I thank you.
And have these nuns no farther privileges? But truly, I speak not as desiring more, but rather wishing a more strict restraint. Who's that which calls? I am that Isabella. And his sister? Woe me, for what? Someone with child by him. Juliet. The Duke is very strangely gone from hence, and with full line of his authority governs Lord Angelo, a man whose blood is very snow broth, one who never feels the wanton stings or motions of the sense. He, to give fear to use and liberty, which have for long run by the hideous law as mice by lions, hath picked out an act under whose heavy sense my brother's life falls into forfeit. He arrests him on it, and follows close the rigor of the statute to make him an example. All hope is gone unless I have the grace by my fair prayer to soften Angelo. The provost hath a warrant for his execution. Alas, what poor abilities in me to do him good? I will about it straight, no longer staying but to give the mother notice of my affair. I humbly thank you. Commend me to my brother. Soon at night I'll send him certain word of my success.
We must not make a scarecrow of the law, setting it up to fear the birds of prey and let it keep one shape until custom make it. Their perch and not their terror. See that Claudio be executed by 9 tomorrow morning. You're welcome. What's your will?
I have a brother, is condemned to die. I do beseech you let it be his fault, and not my brother.
Condemn the fault, but not the actor of it. Why, every fault's condemned ere it be done. Mine were the very cipher of a function to find the faults whose fine lays in record, and let go by the actor.
Oh, just but severe law. I had a brother then. Heaven keep your honor. Must he needs die?
Maiden, no remedy.
Yes, I think you could pardon him, and neither heaven nor man grieve at the mercy.
I will not do it.
But can you, if you would?
Look what I will not. That I cannot do.
But you could do it, and do the world no wrong, if so your heart were touched with that remorse as mine is to him.
He's sentenced. 'Tis too late.
Too late? Why, no, I that do speak a word may call it back again. Well, believe this. No ceremony that to great ones longs, not the king's crown, nor the deputed sword, the marshal's truncheon, nor the judge's robe, befit him so with half so good a grace as mercy does. If he had been like you, and you like him, you would have slipped as he did, but he like you would not have been so stern. Oh, I would to heaven I had your potency, and you were Isabel. Would it then be thus? No. I would tell what 'twere be a judge, and what a prisoner.
Your brother is the forfeit of the law, and you but waste your words.
Alas, alas, all souls that were forfeit once. And he that might the vantage best have took, found out remedy. How would you be, if he that is the top of judgment were to but judge you as you are? Oh, think on that, and mercy will breathe within your lips like man new made.
Be you content, fair maid. It is the law, not I, condemn your brother. Were he my kinsman, brother, or my son, doth thus be same with him. He must die tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Oh, that's sudden. Spare him. Spare him. He is not prepared for death. Good my lord, bethink you. Who is't that have died for this offense? There's many have committed it, yet show some pity.
I show it most of all when I show justice. Your brother dies tomorrow. Be you content.
So you must be the first that gives this sentence, and he that suffers. Oh, it is excellent to have a giant's strength, but it is tyrannous to use it like a giant. Man, proud man, dressed in a little brief authority, most ignorant of what he's most assured, plays such tricks before high heaven as would make the angels weep, who, if they had our spleens, would all themselves laugh mortal.
Why do you put these sayings upon me?
Because authority, though it err like others, hath such medicine within itself that skims the vice or the top. Go to your bosom, knock there, and ask your heart what little it doth know that's like my brother's fault. If it confess a natural guiltiness that's like to his, let it not sound a thought upon thy tongue against my brother's life.
She speaks, and 'tis such sense that my sense breeds with it. Fare you well. I will bethink me. What's this? What's this? Is this her fault or mine? The tempter or the tempted? Who sins most, huh? Not she, nor doth she tempt. But it is I that, like the violet laying in the sun, do as the carrion does, not as the flower, corrupt with virtuous season. Can it be that modesty may more betray our sense than woman's lightness? Having waste ground time enough, shall we desire to raise the sanctuary and pitch our evils there? Fine. What art thou, or what doth thou, Angelo? Dost thou desire her folly for the things that make her good? Oh, let her brother live. Thieves, for their robbery, have authority when judges steal themselves. What? Do I love her that I may hear her speak again and feast upon her eyes? What do I dream of? Oh, cunning enemy, that to catch a saint with saints dost bait thy hook. Most dangerous is that temptation that does goad us on to sin and loving virtue. Never could a strumpet with her double vigor, art, and nature once stir my temper. But this virtuous maid subdues me quite. How now, fair maid?
I come to know your pleasure.
That you would know it. It would much better please me than to demand what 'tis. Your brother must die.
Even so, heaven keep your honor.
Yet he may live a while, and it may be as long as you or I. Yet he must die.
Under your sentence.
Yea,
When, I beseech you, that in his reprieve longer or shorter he may be so fitted that his soul sicken not.
fie these filthy vices. It were as good to pardon them that hath already stolen a man that was fully made, as to remit their saucy sweetness, that do coin in God's image stamps that are forbid.
'Tis set down so in heaven, but not in earth.
Say you so? Then I shall pose you quickly. Which would you rather, that the most unjust law now took your brother's life, or to redeem him, give up your body to such sweet uncleanness that she that he hath stained?
Sir, believe this, I had rather give my body than my
I
soul.
talk not of your soul.
How say you?
I, now the voice of the recorded law, pronounce a sentence on your brother's life. Were there not some charity to save this brother's life?
Please you to do it. I'll take it as a peril to my soul. It is no sin but charity.
Please you to do it, at peril of your soul. We're equal poise of sin and charity.
That I do beg his life? If it be sin, heaven let me bear it. You granting of my suit, if that be sin, I'll make it my morn prayer to have it added to the faults of mine and nothing of your
Nay,
answer.
but hear me. Your sense pursues not mine. To be resaved plain, I'll speak more gross. Your brother must die. Admit no other way to save his life. But, in the loss of question, that you, his sister, could fetch your brother from the manacles of all binding law, and that there were no other earthly means to save him, but either you lay down the treasures of your body, or else let him suffer. Which would you do?
As much for my poor brother as myself. That is, were I under the terms of death, the impression of keen whips I'd wear as rubies. and would strip myself to death as to bed that longing have been sick for, ere I'd yield my body up to shame.
Then your brother must die.
And 'twere the cheaper way. Better that a brother died at once than a sister by redeeming him should die forever.
Were you then not as cruel as the sentence you have slandered so?
Ignominy in ransom and free pardon are of two houses. Lawful mercy is nothing kin to foul redemption.
You seemed of late to make the law a tyrant, and rather prove the slighting of your brother a merriment than a vice.
Oh, pardon me, my lord. It oft falls out to have what we would have, we speak not what we mean. I something do excuse the thing I hate, for his advantage that I dearly love.
Plainly conceive that I love you.
My brother did love Juliet, and you tell me that he shall die for it.
He shall not, Isabel. If you give me love.
I know your virtue hath a license in it, which seems a little fouler than it is to pluck on others.
Believe me, on mine honor, my words express my purpose.
Ha! Little honor to be much believed, and most pernicious purpose. Seeming! I will proclaim thee, Angelo. Look for't. Sign me a present pardon for my brother, or with an outstretched throat I'll tell the world aloud what man thou art.
Who will believe thee, Isabel? Redeem thy brother by yielding up your body to my purpose, or else must not he only die the death, but thy unkindness will yield him out to lingering sufferance. Answer me tomorrow. Say what you can. My false or ways your true.
To whom should I complain? Did I tell this, who would believe me? Oh, perilous mouths that have in them one and the self-same tongue, either condemnation or approof, bidding the law make curtsy to their will, hooking both right and wrong to the appetite, to follow as it draws. I'll to my brother. Though he hath fallen in prompture of the blood, yet he hath in him such a mind of honor that had he 20 heads to tender down on 20 bloody blocks, he'd yield them up before his sister should her body stoop to such abhorred pollution. Then, Isabel, live chaste, and brother die. More than our brother is our chastity. I'll tell him yet of Angelo's request, and fit his mind to death for his soul's rest.
What's your will, good friar?
Bound by my charity and my blessed order, I come to visit the afflicted spirits here in the prison. So then you hope of pardon from Lord Angelo?
The miserable have no other medicine, but only hope. I have hope to live, and am prepared to die.
Be absolute for death. Either death or life shall thereby be the sweeter. Reason thus with life. If I do lose thee, I do lose a thing that none but fools would keep.
I humbly thank you. To sue to live, I find I seek to die. And in seeking death, find life. Let it come on.
My business is a word or two with Claudio.
Now, sister, what's the comfort?
As all comforts are, most good indeed. Lord Angelo, having affairs to heaven, intends you for his swift ambassador, where you shall be an everlasting ledger. Therefore your best appointment make with speed. Tomorrow you set on.
Is there no remedy?
Yes, brother, you may live. There is a kind of devilish mercy in the judge, if you'll implore it, that will free your life, but fetter you till death.
Let me know the point.
Dost thou think, Claudio, if I would yield him my virginity, thou mightst go free?
Heavens, that cannot be.
Yes, he would give it thee, from this rank offense so to offend him still. This night's the time that I would do what I abhor to name, or else thou diest tomorrow.
Thou shalt not do it.
Were it but my life, I'd throw it down for your deliverance as frankly as a pin.
Thanks, Isabel.
Be ready, Claudio, for your death tomorrow.
Yes. Has he affections in him that thus can make him bite the law by the nose when he would force it? Sure, it is no sin. Or of the deadly seven, it is the least.
Which is the least?
If it were damnable, he being so wise, why would he for the momentary trick be predurably fined? Oh, Isabella.
What says my brother?
Sweet sister, let me live. What sin you do to save her brother's life, nature dispenses with the deed so far that it becomes virtue.
Oh, you beast! Oh, faithless coward! Oh, dishonest wretch! Wilt thou be made a man out of my vice? Is't not a kind of incest to take life from thine own sister's shame? What should I think? Heaven shield my mother, played my father fair, for such a warped slip of wilderness ne'er issued from his blood. Take my defiance, die, perish. Might but my bending down should reprieve thee from thy fate, it should proceed. I'll pray 1,000 prayers for thy death, no word to save
Nay,
thee.
hear me, Isabel.
Oh, fie! Fie, fie! Thy sin's not accidental, but a trade. Mercy to thee would prove itself a bawd. 'Tis best that thou diest quickly.
Vouchsafe a word, young sister, but one word.
What is your will?
How will you do to content this substitute and to save your brother?
I am now going to resolve him. I had rather my brother die by the law than my son should be unlawfully born. But oh, how much is the good Duke deceived in Angelo.
You may most uprighteously do a poor wronged lady a merited benefit. Redeem your brother from the angry law. Do no stain to your own gracious person, and much please the absent Duke, if peradventure he shall ever return to have hearing of this business.
Let me hear you speak farther. I have spirit to do anything that appears not foul in the truth of my spirit.
Virtue is bold, and goodness never fearful. Have you not heard speak of Mariana, the sister of Frederick? She should this Angelo have married, was affianced to her oath and the nuptial appointed, between which time of the contract and limit of the solemnity, her brother Frederick was wracked at sea, having in that perished vessel the dowry of his sister. But mark how heavily this befell the poor gentlewoman. There she lost Angelo, left her in her tears, and dried not one of them with his comfort.
But how out of this can she avail?
This forenamed maid hath yet in her the continuance of her first affection. Go you to Angelo. Answer his requiring with a plausible obedience. Only refer yourself to this advantage, that your stay with him may not be long, and that the time may have all shadow and silence in it. We shall advise this wronged maid to go in your place. Here, by this, is your brother saved, your honor untainted, the poor Mariana advantaged, and the corrupt deputy scaled. What think you of it?
The image of it gives me content already, and I trust it will grow to a most prosperous perfection.
Haste you speedily to Angelo. If for this night he entreat you to his bed, give him promise of satisfaction.
I thank you for this comfort. Fare you well, good father.
What is the news from this good deputy?
There have I made my promise upon the heavy middle of the night to call upon him, and have possessed him my most stay can be but brief. Little have you to say when you depart from him, but soft and low, remember now my brother.
Fear me not.
Nor, gentle daughter, fear you not a pre-call. He is your husband on a pre-contract. To bring you thus together 'tis no sin, sith that the justice of your title to him doth flourish the deceit. Come, let us go. Our corns to reap, for yet our tithes to sow.
Deeds unshaped me quite, deflowered maid, and by an eminent body that enforced the law against it. He should have lived, save that his riotous youth and dangerous sense might in the times to come have taken revenge by receiving such a dishonored life by ransom of such shame. Would yet he had lived. Alack, when once our grace we have forgot, nothing goes right. It would not. Whatsoever you may hear to the contrary, let Claudio be executed by 4 of the clock, and in the afternoon, Barnardine. For my better satisfaction, let me have Claudio's head sent to me by 5. Let this be duly performed with a thought that more depends on it than we must yet deliver. Thus fail not to do your office, as you will answer it at your peril.
Now, what news?
What say you to this, sir?
Claudio, whom here you have warrant to execute, is no greater forfeit to the law than Angelo that hath sentenced him. To make you understand this in a manifested effect, I crave but 4 days' respite, for the which you to do me both a present and a dangerous courtesy.
Pray, sir, in what?
In the delaying death.
Alack, how may I do it?
By the vow of mine order I warrant you, if my instructions may be your guide. Let another prisoner be this morning executed, and his head borne to Angelo.
Pardon me, good father, it is against my oath.
Look you. Here is the hand and seal of the Duke. You know the character, I doubt not, and the signet is not strange to you.
I know them both.
This shall absolutely resolve you.
They're in the prison, father. There died this morning of a cruel fever. One Ragazine, a most notorious pirate, a man of Claudio's years. What if we satisfy the deputy with the visage of Ragazine, most like to Claudio?
Oh, 'tis an accident that heaven provides.
This shall be done, good father, presently.
Quick, dispatch and send the head to Angelo. Good morning to you, fair and gracious daughter. She's come to know if yet her brother's pardon be come hither, but I will keep her ignorant of her good, to make her heavenly comforts of despair when it is least expected.
Hath yet the deputy sent my brother's pardon?
He hath released him, Isabel, from the world. His head is off and sent to Angelo.
Oh, I will to him and pluck out his eyes. Unhappy Claudio! Wretched Isabel, injurious world! Most damned Angelo!
This nor hurts him, nor profits you a jot. Forbear it, therefore, give your cause to heaven. The Duke comes home tomorrow. Nay, dry your eyes, if you can, pace your wisdom in that good path that I would wish it go, and you shall have your bosom on this wretch, grace of the Duke, revenges to your heart, and general honor.
I am directed by you.
I shall bring you before the Duke, and to the head of Angelo accuse him home and home. For myself I am combined by a sacred vow and shall be absent. Command these fretting waters from your eyes with a light heart. Trust not my holy order if I pervert your course. We have made inquiry of you, and we hear such goodness of your justice that our soul cannot but yield you forth to public thanks.
You make my bond still greater.
O worthy Duke, dishonor not your eye by throwing it on any other object till you have heard me in my true complaint and given me justice, 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 justice.
Relate your wrongs. In what? By whom? Be brief. Here is Lord Angelo shall give you justice.
O worthy Duke, you bid me seek redemption of the devil.
My lord, her wits, I fear me, are not firm. She hath been a suitor to me for her brother, cut off by course of justice.
By course of justice?
And she will speak most bitterly and strange.
Most strange, but yet most truly will I speak. That Angelo's forsworn, is it not strange? That Angelo's a murderer, is't not strange? that Angelo's an adulterous thief and hypocrite, a virgin violator. Is it not strange and strange? It is not truer. He is Angelo. Then all this is as true as it is strange.
By mine honesty, if she be mad as I believe no other, her madness hath the oddest frame of sense.
O gracious Duke, harp not on that, nor do not banish reason for inequality, but let your reason serve to make truth appear where it seems hid, and hide the false seems true.
Many that are not mad have sure more lack of reason. What would you say?
I am the sister of one Claudio, condemned upon the act of fornication to lose his head, condemned by Angelo. I, in probation of a sisterhood, I went to this pernicious caitiff deputy, who would not, but by gift of my chaste body to his concupiscible, intemperate lust, release my brother. After much debatement, my sisterly remorse confutes mine honor, and I did yield to him. But the next morn betimes, his purpose surfeiting, he sends a warrant for my dear brother's head.
This is most likely.
Oh, that it were as like as it is true.
By heaven, fond wretch, thou knowst not what thou speakst. Confess the truth and say by whose advice thou camest here to complain.
And is this all? Then, oh, you blessed ministers above, keep me in patience, and with ripened time, unfold the evil that is here wrapped up in countenance. Heaven shield your grace from woe, as I, thus wronged, hence unbelieved go.
I know you'd fain be gone. An officer? To prison with her. Shall we thus permit a blasting and a scandalous breath to fall on him so near us? This needs must be a practice. Who knew of your intent in coming hither?
One that I would were here, Friar Lodowick.
A ghostly father belike. First let you show your face and after speak.
Pardon, my lord. I will not show my face until my husband bid me.
What, are you married?
No, my lord.
Are you a maid?
No, my lord.
A widow then?
Neither, my lord.
Why, you are nothing then, neither maid, widow, nor wife.
My lord, I do confess I ne'er was married, and I confess besides I am no maid. I have known my husband, yet my husband knows not that ever he knew me. She that accuses him of fornication in self-same manner doth accuse my husband, and charges him, my lord, with such a time when I'll depose I had him in mine arms, with all the effect of love.
Charges she more than me?
Not that I know.
No, you say your husband?
Why, just, my lord, and that is Angelo, who thinks he knows he ne'er knew my body, but knows he thinks that he knows Isabel's.
This is strange abuse. Show thy face.
My husband bids me. Now I will unmask. This is that face, cruel Angelo, which once thou sworest was worth the looking on. This is the hand which, with a vowed contract, was fast be locked in thine. This is the body that took away the match from Isabel, and did supply thee in thy garden house in her imagined person.
Know you this woman?
My lord, I must confess I know this woman. And 5 years since there was some speech of marriage betwixt myself and her, which was broke off. Partly for that her promised proportions did not come in composition, and chief that her reputation was devalued in levity. Since which time, of 5 years, I never spoke with her, heard from her, or interacted with her. Upon my faith and
Noble prince, as there comes light from heaven and words from breath, as there is sense in truth and truth in virtue, I am affianced this man's wife as strongly as words can make up vows. And, my good lord, but Tuesday night, last gone in's garden house, he knew me as a wife. This being true, let me in safety raise me from my knees, or else forever be affixed here, a marble monument.
I did but smile till now, but good my lord, now give me the scope of justice. My patience here is touched. I do perceive these poor informal women are no more but instruments of some more mightier member that sets them on. Let me have my way, my lord, to find this practice out.
Aye, with my heart, and punish them to your height of pleasure. There is a friar that set them on. Let him be sent for. And you, my noble and well-warranted cousin, whom it concerns to hear this matter forth, Do with your injuries as seems you fit in any chastisement. I for a while will leave you, but stir not you till you have well determined upon these slanderers.
My lord, we'll do it throughly.
Away with him to prison. Lay bolts enough upon him.
Stay, sir. Stay a while.
What? Resists he?
First, Provost, let me bail these gentle three. Sir, by your leave, hast thou or word, or wit, or impudence that yet can do the office? If thou hast, rely upon it till my tale be heard, and hold no longer out.
Good prince, no longer session hold upon my shame, but let my trial be mine own confession. Immediate sentence, then insequent death, is all the grace I beg.
The mercy of the law cries out most audible, even from his proper tongue. And Angelo for Claudio, death for death. Haste still pays haste, and leisure answers leisure. Like doth quit like, and measure still for measure. Away with him. For his possessions, although by confiscation are ours, we do instate thee withal.
Gentle, my good lord.
You do but lose your labor.
What good, my lord. Isabel, please, sweet Isabel, take my part. Lend me your knee, and all my life to come, I'll lend you all my life to do your service.
Most bounteous sir, look if it please you on this man condemned as if my brother did live. I partly think that a due sincerity governed his deeds till he did look on me. As it is so, let him not die. My brother had but justice, in that he did the thing for which he died. For Angelo, his act did not o'ertake his intent, but must be buried as an intent which perished along the way. Thoughts are no subjects, intents, but merely thoughts.
Merely, my lord.
Your suit's unprofitable. Stand up, I say. Go fetch him hither.
I am sorry. That's a sorrow I procure, and so deep sticks it in my penitent heart that I crave death more willingly than mercy. 'Tis my deserving, and I do entreat it.
What muffled fellow's that?
This is a prisoner that I saved, who should have died when Claudio lost his head, as like almost a Claudio as himself.
By this Lord Angelo perceives he's safe. Methinks I see a quickening in his eye. Well, Angelo, your evil quits you well. Look that you love Mariana, her worth yours. I find apprehension in myself. She, Claudio, that you wronged, look you restore. Joy to you, Mariana. Love her, Angelo. I have confessed her, and I know her virtue. Thanks, Provost, for your care and secrecy. We shall employ thee in a worthier place. Dear Isabel, I have a motion much imports your good, whereto if you'll a willing ear incline, give me your hand and say you will be mine.